Robertson. Today I will not be able to do a live Zoom session with you because I'm in a meeting from 1 to 3. So I want to go over with you the things that are going to be on the test tomorrow. So you have, you received earlier when you entered the calendar, the Canvas calendar, a practice or a review worksheet to do to get ready for the test. So at this time I'm going to go over how to do each problem on the review worksheet. Now, tomorrow we will start with an early Zoom session at the beginning of class. We'll go over any questions that you might have before you take the test, and then you will take the test after our Zoom session. All right, so here we go. Get your paper out, and let's go over the answers on the review. The test tomorrow will be, I think, on Edulastic. It will not be paper like this one is, but we're going to work the problems out here at this time. What is the value of the expression f to the second power plus 8 if x equals 7? So you'll have 7 to the second power plus 8. 49 plus 8 will give you the answer 57. C, 57. All right, number 2. What is the value of 6x minus 3y if x is 5 and y is negative 1? Be careful with the negatives, kids. So you'll have 6 times 5 minus 3 times negative 1. Now, one thing you can do is get rid of your subtraction sign, add the opposite. So now you'll have 30 plus negative times negative is positive, and the answer will be 33. G. Once again, the problems are not hard, but you have to be very careful with the negative signs. Which property of multiplication is shown by the equation f times 8 equals 8 times f? Well, they moved around. The position of the variable and the digit moved around. So when you move, you commute. C. That's an example of the commutative property. A plus B equals B plus A. An example of the associative property would be, here you have everything in the same order on both sides. What moves around in the associative property are the parentheses. So that's an example of the associative property. The distributive property will look like this. A times B plus C equals A times B plus A times C. And the identity property, there are two of them. A plus 0 equals A, or the identity property for multiplication, A times 1 equals A. It keeps its identity. So please make sure you know what each one of those properties looks like. What are the next 3 terms in the sequence? In the sequence, they are adding 4. So 16 plus 4 is 20. 24, 28. The answer is G. What are the next 3 terms in the sequence? 1, 7, 13, 19. In this sequence, it looks like they're adding 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 plus 6 is 19. 19 plus 6 is 25. 25 plus 6 is 31, and 31 plus 6 is 37. The answer, B. In number 6, what is the next term in this pattern? 3/10, 5/10, 7/10, 9/10. They are adding 2/10. So 9/10 plus 2/10, 1 and 1/10. Which is H. What is the value of the expression negative 5 times 3 plus 4? 3 plus 4 is 7. Negative 5 times 7 is negative 35. A. Be very careful when you do your test tomorrow. I suggest you have paper to work each problem out. Do not try to do them in your head since it is on Edulastic. All right, so now let's go to the next page. Question number 8. Which expression is equivalent to negative 5 times x plus 10? Well, that'll be negative 5x plus negative 5 times 10 is negative 50. Well, I don't see a negative 5x plus negative 50. But another way to write that is negative 5x minus 50. Negative 5x minus 50 is a choice there, so it is H. In number 9, we need to simplify this. The first thing you need to do, get rid of your subtraction signs, add the opposite. Now, you have negative 2y plus a positive 2y. That cancels each other out. So now you end up with 10 plus negative 8, and the answer is 2, D, 2. In number 10, first thing, remove your subtraction signs. Add the opposite, add the opposite. Now, combine your like terms. I'll put a 1 in front of the x. I have a 1x, a negative 5x. 1x plus negative 5x will be negative 4x. And then I have a 4 plus a negative 2. That's going to be a positive 2. So negative 4x plus 2, and that is a choice. H. Let's move on to number 11. 15x plus 35 using the greatest common factor. Okay, they want a factor. The first thing I do, and it's a plus sign, I set it up like this. I prepare it for factoring. Now, what will divide 15 and 35? And here they do request you use the greatest common factor. Well, the largest number that will divide 15 and 35 will be 5. 5 times what is 15x? 5 times 3x is 15x. 5 times what is 35? 5 times 7 is 35. So I went 5 times 3x plus 7. That is it right there. So the answer is A. Always be careful because when you first look, they have some of the elements that you need, but not all of them. Just be very careful. Here it wants us to add these two together. All right, the first thing, add the opposite. Now you can do this vertically. 11x plus 2. Put your 9x below the 11x and the negative 4 below the 2 like that. And we are adding 11x plus 9x is 20x. 2 plus negative 4 is negative 2. Now they're not going to have 20x plus negative 2 as a choice, but they will have 20x minus 2, which is choice G. You could also do it horizontally, where you circle your like terms, 11x and 9x, and identify your constants and combine them that way too. It doesn't matter which way you do that. All right, yes, there will be a problem like number 13 on your test. Number 13 says subtract 8x plus 6 minus x plus 4. All right, you have to add the opposite, and that's going to be a negative 1. Remember, you're from last week, now you're going to take negative 1 times x and negative 1 times 4. So I'm going to just rewrite this below. 8x plus 6 plus negative 1x plus negative 4. Do you see where I got the negative 1x and the negative 4? Negative 1 times x is negative 1x. Negative 1 times 4, negative 4. Now we are going to combine our terms. You have an 8x plus a negative 1x. That will give you the answer of 7x. You have 6 plus a negative 4. 6 plus negative 4, a positive 2. So your answer, 7x plus 2. A, 7x plus 2. In the expression 12a plus 5, identify the coefficient. The coefficient is the number in front of the variable, so that is going to be the 12. 12 is your coefficient in this problem. The answer is F. Now the other term, constant. The number that is the constant is 5. The constant is the term without a variable. The constant has no variable attached. Okay? The coefficient is the digit in front of the variable. So here is your test. This is what it's going to look like. It'll be very similar. Make sure you are prepared to do problems like number 13. Now, if you have questions, I will be available before the test tomorrow, so please make sure you have questions ready. And yes, I already plan on doing a problem like number 13 before the test. Have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.